thank you for this study. As we go into the second segment of the sermon that we have today, we ask that you give us strength, give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As many as are connected to this study today, give them grace, give them strength, give them peace, increase their understanding. At the end of the day, we will all grow together and will understand more about your ways for us. Thank you, in Yeshua's name we have asked.
Hallelujah. So be it.
So I want to talk about the teaching of wisdom.
Teaching of wisdom.
And I want to look at the book. I want to start with Ecclesiastes chapter 7. I want to start from verse 23. Ecclesiastes 7:23. I'm going to focus a little bit on the book of Ecclesiastes today.
You said what was again, Brother Daniel? I didn't get that. Write that down. It
The
was
teaching of wisdom.
teaching of wisdom.
Mhm. Ecclesiastes 7, starting from 23.
Ecclesiastic.
Mhm.
And you say again, because I didn't.
23.
Ecclesiastes 23.
Seven.
Huh?
7 chapter 23.
Verse 23.
Mhm.
Okay, I got that.
Say, all these have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. And I find more bitterness than death. And I find more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snare, and nets, and her hands as bounds. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. I want to read that same verse from uh, the Christian Standard Version. You see, I have tested all this by wisdom. I resolve, I will be wise, but it was beyond me. What exists is beyond reach and very deep. Who can discover it? I turn my thoughts to know, explore, and examine wisdom, and an explanation of things, and to know that wickedness is stupidity, and folly is madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman who is a trap, her heart a net, and her hands chained. The one who pleases Yahweh will escape her, but the sinner will be captured by her. So wisdom is said that is talking about the way our heart is fashioned. Say, look, says the teacher, I have discovered this by adding one thing to another to find out the explanation, which my soul continually searches for, but does not find. I found one person in 1,000, but none of those was a woman. Only see this, I have discovered that Yahweh made people upright, but they pursue many schemes. I have discovered that Yahweh made people upright, and they pursue many schemes. Anytime I ask questions of a previous study, it's because I have seen something that is coming up in the next study. Yahweh made people upright, but people pursue many schemes. It will be, Brother Pastor Ezra said that wickedness has been there from the beginning, but Yahweh does not want man to discover it.
Right. I know.
But our Elohim, knowing everything before its inception, putting man in such situation will be very difficult for me to understand. That was why I was saying what I was saying.
Yes.
And that's when I said everything that he wanted us to know is in here.
Yeah,
If
so
he didn't put it in, he don't even want us to know anything about it.
yes, so he says it here that he has discovered that man, that I have discovered that Elohim made people upright, but they pursue many schemes. That means from the beginning we are created to be right. But man, the heart of man pursue many different type of schemes. We pursue schemes that we have nothing to deal with, something that does not benefit us.
I wonder why we do that.
You know,
Sin.
in the scripture we are told that over here we are told that a man's life does not constitute of the abundance of his possession. That means, regardless of what you have, it has nothing to do with the life that you are living. Life is a given, is grace. It does not have to do with who have plenty or who have little. Over my short life, I have come to understand that everyone grows old regardless of how much they possess. I've been trying to see a very wealthy person who does not grow old, but I couldn't find one.
Right. You won't either.
Yes. You see, wisdom is what is given to us. In the scripture tells us, Paul was speaking that if we should seek anything at all, what should we do? We should seek wisdom because it is profitable to direct. Let me show you something. Okay, I want to go to the same Ecclesiastes. I want to read chapter 8. I want to go to verse, I want to start reading from verse 8 as well. See, there is no man that hath power over the spirit to restrain the spirit. Neither had he power in the day of death. There is no discharge in that war. Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So all this have I seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one ruleth over another to his own hurt. Solomon wrote into the book of Ecclesiastes. In my scripture here, I particularly want to pay attention to what it says. It said, I want to go back to where it said wickedness. He said, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. So what did he say here in the Christian Standard Version? He said, no one has authority over the wind to restrain it, and there is no authority over the day of death. No one is discharged during battle, and wickedness will not allow those who practice it to escape. So if somebody practices wickedness, he said that same wickedness, not something else, will not allow them to escape. Because wickedness is a snare. And how does wickedness come into the life of man? It's true what the scripture, I went through the scripture and I sort of like tried to query the word schemes that is used here. It's the scheme of the heart of man. And you will not believe how many verses came up. Schemes, what men do to try to get ahead of the other. And why do men do that? Because we know that men do so many things. Covetousness that we don't talk about. These days, our world is It's a word of covetousness, more word of I want, insatiable. We are not, we forget the scripture that says contentment is a great gain. But men are not content. We always want one thing. But why does that happen? And that takes us back to the scripture that we always read all the time, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities,
Principalities and powers.
against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, he said against principalities. This actually going through a hierarchy of wickedness, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world.
Rulers of darkness.
Now, who are this world as it is right now? Let us look at that rulers of that, because now that is what we can talk about, okay?
Okay.
Principalities, you can say you don't see them, okay? But it's there in the mind. There is powers that you still don't see because you don't know how things are manipulated. But you can see rulers of darkness. You don't see them physically because you can see things that are going on and you know this is not normal.
Oh, yeah.
They are of this world. They are here. They do things that is unfathomable. You look at it, you say, what is this? How can a human being do this type of thing? They are influenced to do what they do.
Influenced by who? Darkness.
By darkness.
Mhm.
So who's the darkness?
Satan.
Rulers of darkness. And against spiritual wickedness.
It's no doubt. Who's the darkness?
Satan.
Satan.
Where was Satan there in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah, he was there in the beginning.
You understand this? Okay.
And why does this happen? Well, they say spiritual wickedness in high places. All these things they are talking about right now, it's not flesh. But one is specific. One uses at least flesh to do it. Rulers of darkness of this world.
To deceive us, they have to come in to be like us.
Because when you see some people walking around, they're not just people. There are certain things you will see and just forget about it. Don't wish to be like that. The scripture says there are rulers of darkness of this world. Wisdom is the ability to free your mind in order to think right. You cannot be captive. You cannot set your mind into mental captivity, to everything that people say, and you run after it. All these things that are written down here is not something you can go and touch somebody about and say, it is your fault, because it is not flesh.
Mhm.
It is not blood. It's principalities, it's powers, and it's there. And why is it there? Because there is no liberation in the thought of a man's mind. It's there in your mind. It's there in the imagination of your mind. In short, some human beings are more in the defense of something that are wrong than something that are right. Who tells them to do that? In the imagination of their mind, they concoct so many things. They come up with a lot of explanation that you'll be wondering, how did you go there? Because in their mind, they are not liberated. Sin does not just happen from, from nothing. It happens from an imagination. Sin is an implantation. You sow you nurture. Sometimes it comes as a result of education.
Yeah, they do it themselves.
You read things, you think you have known it all. You put your imagination and all that education, you begin to see, instead of you to use it for good, it begin to lure you towards the wrong side. It doesn't mean that you are correct. So in order for us to gain wisdom, you must do wisdom is equivalent to obedience in the scripture. Wisdom, obedience, wisdom. Because you cannot tell me you have wisdom if you are doing what is not right. What wisdom guides you to do what is not right?
Wisdom of the world.
Is the wisdom of the world, imagination of your mind. And in the wisdom of the world is the evil imagination of the mind. And it's the evil imagination of the mind that has caused this world to be the way it is. Every day, if you look at the news, you hardly see anything that is edifying. I turn it on 5 minutes, I turn it off. Because I hear wars according to the scripture and rumors of wars. People dying. And people giving excuse for what they are doing. Not thinking that the other person too have the right to be loved. When we talk about love, we said love has no opposite. There is nothing like this is the opposite of love. Love transcends hate. We go beyond hate. He said, do good to those that despitefully use you. So if somebody say something, a man that has love in his heart must overcome that. And said, no, I ain't gonna do that. Did it hurt you? Yes, it does hurt you. There are certain things that will really hurt you. You think that you want to react. But you have to think twice. If love is in your heart, to learn to forgive, for this too shall also pass away. Time is a wonderful thing. Now I was looking at this thing and I'm telling my mind, I said, the imagination of a man's heart is very powerful. Unless a man's heart is liberated, you cannot say you have wisdom. You cannot gain wisdom. Okay, let us go to Leviticus 19:3.
Go on.
Where?
Leviticus
Leviticus 19:3. What it says about wisdom.
19:3.
Mm-hmm. So ye shall fear, and I would like to read it in another version as well. Say, ye shall fear every man, his mother, and his father, and keep my Sabbath. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Every man. You see, commandment, ye shall fear every man, his mother, and his father, and keep my Sabbath. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. He said, turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourself molten gods. I am Yahweh, your Elohim.